Hey, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at this set number 6929, the Starfleet Voyager. This is part of the LEGO Classic Space theme, and by classic, I mean classic. This thing is about 43 years old as of right now. It came out in 1981, and I'm not going to tell you exactly how old I am, but let's just say this set is quite a bit older than me, which makes me feel pretty fortunate to have a somewhat decent copy of this Lego set, because back in 1981, this was by far the largest spaceship that Lego had ever come out with at the time. In fact, one of the largest Lego sets at the time at 242 pieces. And even by today's standard, as I'm holding this, it's a pretty sizable, pretty large spaceship, pretty large set itself. One thing I do find a little bit funny is that this retailed for $14.99 in 1981. But yeah, this is a pretty cool Lego set. I'm excited to show you some of the details, some of the play features, and then after we review it, of course, we'll break it apart and look at some alternate models. So let's get into it. For a set from 1981, I am actually blown away by some of the building techniques and the play features of this spaceship. We'll start here at the front, just because I think it's a very fun play feature. This droop nose, again built with snot or studs not on top technique, which again kind of surprised me for a set from 1981, but yeah, it works so well. You got this little hinge here on these headlight bricks, and so you can obviously have the nose pointing straight, and it's pretty flush on both sides, or if you would like, you can droop the nose, kind of probably similar to the Concorde, which I imagine was pretty famous for flying around this time period. So yeah, again, it's a cool play feature. You don't really need it, but to add it is a lot of fun. It doesn't really do anything for visibility, unlike the Concorde, for the pilot here, which I'll talk about here in a second. But yeah, it is a very fun play feature for kids or adults. Again, speaking of visibility, I wanted to point out these bricks here down on the bottom. You'll notice most of the pieces in this set are bricks and plates on plates. But these huge inverted cockpit pieces, I'm not exactly sure what they are. They're pretty new to me. This one is in all light gray, but this one up on front is actually in the transparent dark blue. Which again, this gives some visibility to the pilot underneath the ship as he's flying. You can kind of see the steering wheel and maybe the pilot underneath there, depending on what angle you get. But yeah, I think these pieces are pretty cool and very unique. Speaking of unique, and another transparent piece, this is a 4x6 plate in that transparent dark blue, which again, I just haven't seen before, but I think it's pretty cool. It's on these hinge pieces, so you can just open this up and you can get a look at our pilot in the cockpit. So we'll take a closer look at him here in a second. But this is what the cockpit looks like. You got the steering wheel. There's no other details, but pretty decent space though. Once you close this down, you can see in the front, again, we have these like radar dishes. I think that's what those are. We got ladders on either side, so the pilot can get up and down. We have this printed element right here. Again, this is the Classic Space logo. And again, this is a very old set and a very old print. So you can see it's definitely fading, especially the gold planet. But it's still pretty cool to have that. As we move down this bridge area, you'll see a couple more printed computer elements. We got some other printed elements here on the sides. We got this 1x4 brick with the black lines, and then obviously the space logo again. And as you can see, this is very faded, the planet section. The red looks really great, but yeah, the planet's pretty faded. Obviously we have a walkie-talkie, because every space set needs a walkie-talkie. We got our engines here in the back. We got lots of rockets and boosters on here, which is a lot of fun. And then obviously some more prints here. This print is a little bit better, not very metallic, but it does look pretty good. And of course our wrench, because we always need that. One really cool play feature about this set is, again, as you're voyaging through space, you need to be able to bring your stuff with you. And so there is a cargo bay actually here in the back. You can just take off this 1x2 tile, which locks these into place. And this just hinges open. It's so smooth, so easy. And inside we find a big cargo box with these window pieces or shutter pieces for it. Again, mine doesn't have anything in it. I believe that the original set had like a shovel and I think a paddle inside there. But again, you can put whatever you want. You might even be able to put a minifigure in there actually. It's fairly large. So yeah, that closes up. There is another printed logo on it of the Classic Space theme. But it's pretty cool because of this 2x6 plate. This is actually what locks into place. So you just kind of set the box right here, and then you just move these doors. Again, they hinge so smoothly in, grab your tile where you lock it right there, and as you lift up, there, it's stuck on the bottom, and you can take all of your stuff as you travel and voyage through space. So yeah, it's a pretty cool play feature. Again, I love that about the classic space theme. And of course, I wanted to show you the minifigure. This is the classic red spaceman. I believe that they only did red and white at this time, so no blue bennies yet. But as you can tell, it's a pretty old figure. You can see the gold printing on his torso is completely gone, so it's just left with the white, around the spaceship and kind of the outline of the planet. But that's okay. It looks pretty classic to me, especially with the helmet, the classic red air tanks, and of course the smiley face, because that's the only head that Lego did at the time. So now let's take a look at the back of the box. So this is what the back of the box looked like, or at least an image of it, with these 4 different alternate builds that you can create using the pieces from the Starfleet Voyager. And again, this is just one of my favorite things about Lego back in the day is, again, getting to look at the back of the box. It's not just a different angle of the same set, but it's these different models that you can build, or just different inspirations of different things that you can create. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of try my very best to kind of recreate each of these different alternate models. All right, so first up we have this combo of a space station and a little ship. So we'll take a look at the space station first. Again, it's this little platform with these kind of steps built up with ladder pieces for the astronaut to get up onto the top. Again, we got the printed element, we got the lights, the computer console, places for our tools to go. But then we also have this bar in the back, again, using the studs not on top technique, up onto this little, I don't know, radar dish or solar panel, something like that, that can hinge up and down. And so, yeah, honestly, I think this is actually pretty cool. I like that a lot. And then the ship is also kind of fun. Again, this is kind of what it looks like in the picture. So you can't really see the back very well in the picture. So I just kind of used my creative liberty. So I did kind of put this wedge piece here in the back, allowing for either, I guess, more people to be in it, or maybe it's almost like a dump truck or a pickup truck, with cab in the back for storage. I don't know. But yeah, so you got obviously the thrusters. I got these wings. I don't know what these little things are, guns or radars. I don't know, but yeah, I actually kind of like this the ship a lot. I like the legs that it kind of stands on. I don't know, for some reason it looks kind of like a frog to me, but yeah, honestly, I could see between these two things that this could actually be like a legit Lego set back in the day. Next up, we have another alternate spaceship. Again, I think the angle kind of shows it from like this way, at least in the back of the box. So I had to use a little bit of creativity on the underside. But again, I tried to capture as much as I could of the defining features, especially this like double wing kind of front area. Yeah, I really like this. I like the landing gear on the back, how it's flush with the kind of belly of the ship, which makes it nice and easy to land. I like a lot of the features here. It's fun. I think especially like this ladder kind of being used almost like a an intake for an exhaust for this engine. So yeah, I think this is pretty cool. The cockpit is very similar to the Starfleet Voyager. In fact, actually, kind of the whole ship kind of reminded me of like a smaller or miniature version of the Starfleet Voyager, minus the big box in the back. But really, there's this hole in the backside, which I'm kind of wondering actually if you actually could put the box in there and kind of come up with a contraption to keep it in there. So yeah, again, this is a really great spaceship, and again, I could see this as an actual Lego set. And what's this? Another alternate spaceship. What's funny about this one, though, is on the back of the box is all you can actually see is the underside of it as it's kind of shooting off into space. So I think I did a pretty good job of getting this mostly correct. But that just means that everything up on top is all my own imagination and design. So obviously I took some again, liberty, but also some where I'm just like, hey, this is kind of similar to how the other spaceships have been. So here you go. Although you'll notice there's only one hinge there because I used the other ones for something else, which I'll show you here in a second. I do really like the spaceship. I like the wings, like how large it is, and triangular. So that's pretty cool. I do like all of the different like landing gear, thrusters, the ladders up here on the back, so the pilots can get up and do some fixing, some mechanics on the wings. And then the thing that I added was actually if you pull these engines apart, it reveals a secret compartment for the
tool and the walkie-talkie. So again, I have no idea if this is actually on the alternate build on the back of the box. Probably not, but that's okay. This is what Lego is all about, right? Just having fun and creating your own things. And so I wanted to kind of add something kind of fun to it. So there you go. That is spaceship number, or alternate build number 3. So let's go to the last one. And last but not least, we have another spaceship. Although this one is a little bit more unique with the kind of saucer shape, circular shape thing kind of going on here. I do like how the wings are built up with these plates and kind of locked into place with the landing gear, and then how this body, or the cockpit area, is kind of held in by these 4 spokes from the circular area. And again, this is a really like durable, fun model to hold. It's very simple. Again, there's some details on it, but for the most part, it's simply a spaceship, and it's fun to hold right here at the bottom, and it's definitely swooshable. You can play around with it. The cockpit opens up here, and you can see the pilot inside, and there's a lot of room in there, so you could definitely fit a couple minifigures in there. Again, I love this ship. There's just something so classic, so simple, and again, definitely playable and swooshable with it. So I love this. Definitely could have been another actual Lego set in the classic space theme. Now let's get to my final thoughts.
Alright, so I figured I would close this video out by comparing 2 classic-ish spaceships. Obviously we have the Starfleet Voyager from 1981, and then we have this new Galaxy Explorer from, I think, like 2022, I think is when it came out. Again, this is a really cool set. It's a really fun build. There's a lot going on, a lot of fun play features, obviously a lot of nostalgia, and yeah, it's a really great set. It's huge. I forgot how big of a set this thing is. Yeah, it's awesome. It's really great. At the same time, again, as much as I love this, and I love like the new pieces and all the new techniques and stuff like that, there's just something that draws you back, I think, to this classic, so simple style of spaceship, or just really Lego sets in general. And I'm not exactly sure what it is, because again, I didn't grow up with this set, so it's not necessarily nostalgia, but maybe it's just the simple bricks and plates, and maybe it's the color scheme, or the size of it, and the durability and the playability of it. I don't exactly know what it is. And for all of you classic space fans out there, know what it is, probably more than I do. But yeah, there's just something like really awesome about it that just makes you want to play with it, and it just sucks you in, draws you in. So again, I love both of these sets a lot. I did really like when this set came out, that there are alternate models that you can break this thing apart and build like a medium size and a small size spaceship. So I appreciate that Lego is encouraging you to, again, you can build this, you can play with it, but then you can break it apart and build some alternate models. But again, it just doesn't quite compare though to like back in the day, when it was like, again, it was like Lego was saying, yeah, buy this, this Starfleet Voyager, build it, and play around with it, have fun with it. But then if you're feeling like being creative, like, do it. Break this thing apart. Build whatever you want. Here's some ideas on the back of the box, that are all kind of space themed, but really build whatever you want, whatever theme you want. And I just love that about Lego. I think it's a really cool thing. So anyway, that's what we're all about here on this channel. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe for more videos reviewing Lego sets, but also breaking them apart and using our own creativity to build whatever and wherever our imagination takes us. So thanks so much for watching. Until next time, happy building.